Alright, so while I casually run around in Fortnite and try not to get clapped by some 12-year-olds on a sugar rush, let's talk about something a bit heavier. What's it actually like living in Australia in 2025? Spoiler, it's not great unless you're a supermarket CEO or a landlord with 10 properties. But if you're just trying to get by, like I am, buckle up. So let's talk about the cost of living. It's become the national personality trait at this point. Everyone's broke, everyone's tired, and somehow still lining up at Macca's on a Sunday morning. Where is this money coming from? Fuel, $2 a litre on a good day. Rent, forget about it. I do own an investment property, but I do want to say I am providing housing for people, and I do not charge anywhere near what it does to cover my costs, and I live with my parents, just FYI. Groceries, that's where Coles and Woolies come in. Basically, we've got a retail duopoly, two companies controlling over 65% of the grocery market. These guys are charging $7 for a lettuce and then blaming the supply chains and the farmers like it's COVID all over again. Meanwhile, they're getting billions and billions in profit and patting themselves on the back in the board meetings. And don't even get me started on shrinkflation. I just saw a news article on that the other day. Chips packets half full, chocolate bars half the size of a USB stick. It's just insane. Let's just call it what it is, price gouging. There's a Senate inquiry right now. If you don't know what a Senate inquiry is, look it up. Basically, they're looking into their pricing, but at the same time, it's a bit like asking the fox why all the chickens are missing. Okay, that was a good pun from me. Most people don't even bother with Woolies anymore unless there's a catalogue special. Aldi's packed every weekend and people are hunting bargains like it's the Hunger Games. Aldi has literally surprised me on how good of a what are they called? Like a supermarket they can be. Like, the food's good. I don't buy meat from Aldi. I don't like the meat from Aldi, but everything else is just a European or German version of what you would buy from Coles and Woolies for the same prices you would have bought it like 3-4 years ago. I do not understand why more people do not shop at Aldi. It's stupid. Why people are supporting these big corporations. It drives me insane. It actually drives me insane. And you know it's bad when you're standing in front of the fridge debating whether to get butter or just suffer. Don't know if there's many people in that position, but you know. Let's just keep going. Now onto politics, everyone's favourite background. Albo is our current PM. Labor's in, but let's be real, they're playing it safe. Some would say too safe. You've got a bunch of people screaming for change, more housing, better healthcare, higher wages, and then what does the government do? They just do pointless public talks and just shuffle paperwork. It's a lot of shit, and they spend money like it's growing on trees, like the country's not already in debt. There's a lot of talk, not much bite. And the opposition, the Liberals, I am a Liberal supporter, just putting it out there, still figuring out what they stand for after the last election loss. 1 minute it's cost of living, next it's culture wars. I will give it to the Liberal. They tend to focus more on business and putting money into those who own and operate a business, which is good. Labor tend to just take more tax and give you more free stuff. That's kind of what they do. And then you've got the Greens. Greens are actually picking up steam this time, especially with young voters. But until they're holding real power, they're just noise on the side of the freeway. And then, of course, there's the independents and the minor parties who somehow talk more sense than half of Canberra. Now, you've got these a lot of Trump candidates this year. Trump, like the... who's the Labor guy? Peter Dutton is the Trump of Australia. You've got that Jim Shaw or some dude who's literally got the Trumpet of Australia campaign. lot of Trump in this campaign this year. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't mind Trump as a president, although he is a bit stupid a lot of the time. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, the elections are March, April, May, in a month and a bit. So we'll see how the following month goes with all this new marketing and billions of dollars spent on pointless marketing. Now, an industry that I'm a part of, housing and rent. The real gut punch, housing. If you're under 35 and you don't already own a house, you're basically playing a game of Monopoly where every square is owned and mortgaged to the eyeballs. Rent prices are up over 10% in most cities this past year. Yes, I get pretty decent rent on my property, but with the other costs involved in owning a property, I don't make any money. It actually costs me almost $2,000 a month just to keep my property with rent coming in, just to put it into perspective. Melbourne, Sydney, even places like Hobart and Adelaide are unaffordable now. People are couch surfing, moving back in with their parents, living in cars, and this isn't some fringe issue. This is middle class people, nurses, teachers, tradies. Meanwhile, investors are still getting tax breakthroughs through negative gearing. Build-to-rent projects are on the rise, but they're slow, too slow. Cost of building at the moment is ridiculous, and negative gearing, as much as that helps at the end of the year, negative gearing only helps if you make money. If you are not making any money, negative gearing is, at the end of the day, pointless. Okay? Just putting it out there. Don't want to get into it too much because it's Hermes, bro. It's Hermes. We're going to do high energy. This is a bit dark, but I think you guys are going to like it. And don't even think about trying to save for a deposit because that money's going straight to rent, groceries, fuel, and just trying to live. So what does the future look like? What is it like living in Australia? Honestly, it depends who you ask. Some reckon things will stabilize, more builds, tech making things more efficient, interest rates dropping. Could see that happening. It started to happen a little bit here and there. Others see a growing divide, the rich getting richer, everyone else stuck in the middle, chewing through savings and drowning in credit card debt. Wages haven't caught up, full stop. That is true. However, people are also living well above their means. Again, another video, another day. People who are working 2-3 jobs just to survive and for war, so you can maybe afford a weekend away once a year and feel human again. Again, if you can't, work an extra shift. Young people feel like the dream is slipping away, not just the Aussie dream of owning a home, but even just living comfortably, having choices, having time. So, what do we reckon's going on here? There's a lot of people who are probably not living how they should live. I saw a TikTok the other day of a girl who was making $1,250 a fortnight. So what's that? Like $625 a week. And her rent was $1,200 a fortnight. That's $600 a week. And she was complaining. Now, if you ask me, that sounds absolutely full of shit. I do not believe that for a second. There is no way you're making $1,250 a week and renting a place at $1,200 a week. You would not have got accepted. However, if this is the mentality, we're in trouble. And it's not trouble that the government's going to help fix because they've got to fill their own pockets full of money. It's trouble that everyday Australians, whether you're 18 years old watching this or you're 30 years old watching this, like same age as me, I moved back in with my mum and dad because financially it was the better decision. It sucks bad. I can't go and meet women and I can't do what I want to do, but I needed to make that decision because it was going to be more beneficial and financially better for me to move back in than suffer and struggle with not doing that. Now, I know this all sounds like a bit bleak, and yeah, it kind of is, but it's not all doom and gloom. Aussies are tough. We are resourceful and we're stubborn. Communities are forming. People are helping each other out. More are speaking up, whether it's online, at the shops, or at the ballot box. Hopefully, we'll see in about a month. And I reckon that matters. Maybe this is the wake-up call. Maybe things get better when we stop waiting for politicians to fix it. 100%. If you wait for the government to put more money in your pocket, it's never going to happen. If you wait for the government to build your house, it's never going to happen. If you wait for the government to drop food prices, it's not going to happen. Maybe things get better when we stop waiting for politicians to fix it and start pushing hard from the ground up. Anyway, I'm just Luke, who's about to get absolutely owned in Fortnite. I'm Hermes, running into a mic. If you made it this far, give the video a like, subscribe, and that's life in Australia in 2025. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.